without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And he's got Snead. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Oh, well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's
you know
go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe...
And for the third time, the big man, get the oxygen tank ready. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. You used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski
different
was an
things for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Breeze to try again after the pick six. It's complete to Snead. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They come up with one back. That's Ingram. Now a play fake here on first down. Snead's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
To throw, it's and his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. A great read, he's got daylight. 30, 20, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows him sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right?
Now Breeze lost the football. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it's 3rd and short.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So 3rd and goal. The defense in the dime.
Can still bring pressure.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This time Wilson will throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Doug Baldwin there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. And he's able to put it through. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh.
They get the young quarterback going and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. On first down, Breeze. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physical. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Brandon Coleman was the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. Ten yards to go on 3rd.
Strong left. Strong left. We got to kill King. 95, 56. Lucky.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. He goes underneath to Ingram. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now look at this. 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll go for it. It's Breeze. He's got time in the pocket. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Jeez, don't you at least want your guys to get a drink of water? Probably pretty thirsty. Whatever, your wish, our command. Third quarter now. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as he'll start at the 21-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Wilson on second down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. See, you wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine. You know, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now another shot here at the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Watch Mike. 21. Watch the 53.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. Now Breeze. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they've managed to get it done. Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Breeze now on first down. Now Breeze lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll start with great field.